Well, welcome everybody. Today is our last class of this session. So we're gonna have a 2-week break this time, and we'll be back the first week in January. And I have lots of recordings. If anybody needs recordings to listen to over the break, let me know. Any class that interests you, we got gentle yoga and things like that too. Okay. We're gonna start off this morning seated. The only prop that you need is your block. Okay, so whatever position is the most comfortable, you can be up on a bolster, either cross-legged or legs out in front, ankles crossed, or up in your chair. So let's just take a moment. And find your seat, and we're going to sit up nice and tall through the center line of the body. So feeling that gentle lift through the crown of your head. But at the same time, relax your shoulders down and let your hands rest heavy either on your knees or folded in your lap. And when your position feels comfortable, you can let your eyes close and just give yourself a moment to arrive. So we're just talking about what a busy time of year this is, and we're running around getting things done, lots on the mind. And we take this moment now to transition into our practice. And we can do that by feeling the body. So get a sense of where you're sitting, the contact point between your sit bones and your support, an awareness of sensation in your body. Always looking for any holding or gripping. And an awareness of the movement of breath. So as you're scanning your body now, pay particular attention to the abdominal muscles, and just see if you can soften your belly and the sides of your waist. And start to invite a deeper breath. So as you're inhaling, you're feeling the abdomen expand, the sides of the waist expand. And with every exhale, feel like you're letting go. Just a little bit of whatever momentum or busyness or things on your mind that you've been carrying with you. And let the exhalation make you a little softer. We're going to try a couple of rounds of the 4 square breathing. We did this much earlier in the session. And the idea was to inhale to a count of 4, hold the breath in for 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then hold the breath out for 4. I mentioned before that if this doesn't feel good to you, you can just breathe in and out to 4. You don't need to hold. Or you can hold for just 2. All right, begin your inhalation or exhalation sooner. So we don't want to feel any stress. This should hopefully be a grounding, relaxing kind of thing. If you need to adjust, please do. So we're going to start by taking a nice deep inhalation through the nose. And then exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Good. And keep going. So you're counting in your own mind. 2. And practicing during the inhalation and exhalation pieces, taking in as much breath as you can and exhaling as completely as you can. And it might also be interesting to observe your mind during the retention of the breath, just to see if there's any agitation. kind of unease that's building when we're not inhaling or exhaling. I'm just seeing if you can counteract that by relaxing more deeply. Whether we're holding the breath in or out, we're focused, relaxed. Around. Good. And then returning to your regular breath. You can keep your eyes closed if you like, or you can let them open. And we're going to lift the right shoulder up to the ear and press the shoulder back as we do. Bring your left shoulder forward and to start some alternate shoulder rolls. So it's a little bit like doing the backstroke. Right? One arm is coming forward as the other arm is coming back. Swimming the shoulder joints. Let your arms be soft. And then we'll switch and do both shoulders together. Both shoulders up and back and down and through. Big, soft movement, really getting into shoulder joints. Inhaling up and back, exhaling down and through. Good. 2 more. And then just place your hands back in your lap. And now we're going to gaze straight ahead and then turn and look to your left about 45 degrees. Drop your chin now down towards your collarbone. And let's take the left hand to the right side of the neck. And we're just going to draw little circles or stroke the fingers up and down from the space behind the ear out into the shoulder. Exploring sensation in the side of the neck, maybe pinching a little bit where the shoulder and neck meet. And just let your shoulder drop. Then you can bring your left hand back down, look up, bring your gaze through center, and you're looking to your right about 45 degrees. We'll drop the chin down slowly towards the collarbone. And now the right hand comes across the body to the left side of the neck. And again, we're just drawing little circles or dragging the fingers up and down. Come out to that place where the neck and shoulder meet with little pinches. Good. And just see if you can drop your left shoulder, relax your left arm. And then returning the right hand back to the lap, we'll bring the gaze forward and we're going to undulate the body. So we'll press forward, drop to the side and back, other side and forward. Nice, easy movement. And you can switch directions. Let's roll the other way. And we're going to move to our chicken wing arms. So let's bring our fingertips up to the shoulders now, elbows close. And we'll inhale the elbows up and back. Exhale down and through. Rolling your shoulder joints. Inhale up and back. Bless you. And then release the arms down. We're going to do 2 of our Taoist breaths. So take a nice big inhalation. Let's bring the arms up and behind the head. And then from behind the head, exhale, press out. Good. So feel resistance in the palms. Fingertips to the shoulders. Breathe into the heart. Shoulder blades together. Look up as you fill your chest, and then exhale, round the back. Push out. Inhale, nice and tall. Lift the heart to the ceiling, little back bend. Then reaching through the fingertips, hands to the floor. Drop your head, drop your shoulders. Stay here for a few breaths. And then draw the navel in, start to restack the spine. And if you're in easy pose, we'll try to switch the legs if it's okay. It's horribly uncomfortable. You don't need to, but it'll change our hip stretch. So let's put the non-dominant leg in front and inhale. Behind the head, exhale, push out. Inhale into the heart, look up. Exhale, press out, rounding the back. Inhale, nice and tall, lift the heart. And then exhale, reach through your fingertips. Hands down, head drops, shoulders drop. And just a few deep belly breaths here. Draw the navel in, restack the spine. And back up to seated. So we're going to do some forward folds from a seated position. If you're up high on a bolster, you might want to be lower. If you're just on something thin, like a little cushion, that's fine. Just because we get the feeling that we're falling off the bolster. Okay, so let's bring the legs as wide as we can comfortably. And just be up on your sit bones. So you might lift your seat for a moment, find that position. And let's think about our feet. We're going to flex and point the toes. And then roll the ankle joints. So let your big toes draw some circles up on the ceiling. And we'll go one way and then the other way. We're going to do some brushing. So using your fingertips, the right fingers are going to brush towards the left ankle and come back. Left fingertips towards the right ankle and come back. Nice and easy. Today I'm on the creaky board. We're downstairs, and like there's one right where the teacher sits upstairs. Okay, and now we're going to brush forward and back. So same thing, fingertips forward and back. Good, and we're going to do a yin style hold when we come to rest in this position. So yin style means nice and soft and for a longer time. So we're going to try to hold for about 3 minutes. So that, having that in mind, you might want some kind of support. Bolsters are great, blocks, your hands. Good, so it's some kind of support between your legs. Let's tip the pelvis forward. And when it stops, we're going to round down over that support. So it's great if you can support your head somehow, and that might be stacking 2 fists or a block standing up. And just take a moment now to ease into that position, find your supports. And then once we're here, our goal is to completely soften the body. So feet are soft, the legs are soft, and what that might mean is that they're rolling out a little bit or rolling in a little bit. Right? Yin style means that we are not flexing the feet like we might be used to in this position. We're just ragdoll. So just as if you fell forward and are supported by whatever the body is landed on. And see if you can make your upper body heavy. So letting go of the weight of the rib cage, the weight of the shoulders and the head. And just having the feeling of gravity very gently pressing you down. Whenever we're in flexion like this, we can feel that our belly is compressed or it is squeezed. But you can still breathe into your belly and feel that expansion. Just engaging the diaphragm a little bit more. And just looking to drop in a little bit more. So let's stay here for about 10 more breaths. And sometimes when we stay for a while, it gets easier. And if you feel like maybe one of your props would come out, it could, or not. And just going to the places in your body where you feel this the most deeply. Be the backs of your legs, inner thighs, lower back, and just observing sensation in the body. And then at the bottom of your next breath, let's start to walk ourselves back up, stacking the spine. Good. You can take whatever props you have out. And then we're going to bring the feet into our butterfly position. So let's bring the soles of the feet together. Yeah. So last time we did a long-legged butterfly. This time we'll do it a little bit more tightly. So we'll bring the heels as close to the body as we can comfortably. And we're going to move our wings. So we're going to be lifting our knees to a count of 3 as we inhale, and then dropping the knees to a count of 9. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of resistance coming down. So when you're ready, inhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Same breath, we're pressing. Big breath, inhale, 2, 3, lungs are full. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Normally, press, press, press. We're not using our elbows, right? You're just using your concentration, pressing knees open. And do that one more time. Inhale, deep breath, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then relax your effort. Knees probably come up a little bit, and we'll just move our knees up and down. And then we're going to lean back into our hands. So keep your feet where they are. You can do that. Bring your hands behind your body, and we're going to press the chest forward. So lift up through the heart. And as you press the sternum up, see if you can press your knees down. Good. Now we're moving our awareness into the area of the heart, 3 big chest breaths. And then relax your effort. And we'll bring the feet back into either cross-legged or however you sit comfortably. Back up onto your sit bones. We'll do some little side bends here. So we're going to interlace the tips of our fingers and frame the head. And take lift up, dip left. Good. And stay here, 3 breaths. Keep your neck easy. Maybe look down. And then come center. Again, inhale, lift up, get tall. Exhale, dip right. Good. Eyes down on the floor. And then come back to center. Let's press the palms up. Inhale. Exhale, release. Take it out a little bit. Let's bring the feet to the floor now. And we'll have the knees bent, and you can again lean back into your hands. And we're going to just drop the knees from side to side. So start a little waving motion. And we'll be bringing this into our twist. So knees drop right, left arm across the body, look over your shoulder. And back to neutral. And knees drop left, right arm across the body, look over your shoulder. And back to neutral. Good. So just keep going at whatever pace feels good. So it might feel good to keep moving or maybe holding for a few breaths. And a nice rotation right up the length of the spine. And take it each side one more time. And back to center. Okay, legs are back out in front. And we're going to do one more sitting pose, which is our fire log pose. Okay, so a nice stretch for the hip joint. We're going to pick up the right ankle and place the right ankle above the left knee. And so if you have any pain here, good idea to prop the knee, or you can even just hold it a little bit. All right, so support that knee, flex your feet. And if you're already feeling something, you can stay right here. Otherwise, we're going to tip the pelvis forward until we feel that engagement in the right seat. Long spine from the root to the crown. Each side about 8 breaths. And then tip up. And let's try that on the other side. So left ankle above the right knee. Again, flex your feet a little bit, sit up tall. The knee is not good hanging in space. We're supporting it, holding it, propping it. And then maybe coming forward, and we're dipping until we feel that activation in the left hip, glute. And 8 breaths here. Nice long spine. And tip, tip, tip. Back up to neutral. Okay. And then shake your legs out, wiggle your toes. So we're going to be doing a few things now in table pose, and I'll show it on the wall too. So if kneeling is not good, you come up to a wall. Okay, so for folks who are coming into table pose, bring your block with you. And you're going to set up with your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hip joints, and we'll just start moving into some cat and cow breathing. If you're doing this on the wall, hands are on the wall, you can lean in a little, soft knees, same movement. Okay, so we're going to exhale, squeeze, draw the abdomen in and round the back. And then as you inhale, lift your sit bones, drop your belly, drop your chest, and look forward. working into movement along the spine and coupling that with the breath. And then coming to a neutral spine, if you're on the floor, you're going to take your block now, place it right underneath your sternum, right underneath your breastbone. Then come up with your hands so the heels of the hands rest on the block. So just like that. And you can step your knees just a little bit wider. Okay. If you're on the wall, you don't need the block, but the same thing, the hands will be together by the heart, and leaning into the wall a little bit. And now as you inhale, feel your belly turn right, your chest turn right, and your right arm lift. And then as you exhale, come back to your block or your wall. And now inhale, belly turns left, chest turns left, left arm lifts. And exhale back to your block or wall. So just keep moving along with your breath now. Take your time coming in and feeling that it's first in the low body, then in the chest, and that the arm is the kind of decoration, the cherry on top. So keep moving along, and the next time that it's your right arm in the air, we're going to try to stay there. So let's stay there and breathe. You can look up at your fingers if that feels good in your neck. If not, look down at your block. And we're reaching for the ceiling above us. Maybe pushing the block away a little bit with the heel of the hand. And come down. And now the other side. Opening to the left, extending the left arm up. And again, we're going to try to hold for about 3 breaths. Push the floor away. Reach just a little bit. Chest is wide open. And close. So we'll take a rest here. If you're down on the floor, let's come back into a child's pose. It can be legs closed or knees open, whatever feels good. If you're on the wall, you might just come away for a moment, kind of roll your shoulders, just do something to release the any tension in the shoulders, hands, wrists. There's more to come. Okay, so when you feel good, you can come back up into table or back to your wall. And now we won't need the block because we're going to thread the needle. So now the hands are below you on the floor at sternum level. We're going to inhale, lift the right arm. And then as you exhale, let's thread the right arm behind the left and come down on your right cheek. If you're up against a wall, you can do the same thing. The right arm, back of the shoulders on the wall. And we're leaning. Okay. And you can play a little bit with how much pressure feels good. All right, so if your seat comes forward, you're putting more weight into the back of your shoulder. And if your seat comes away, you're being a little bit more gentle. And in the same way, you can do it on the wall by stepping further away if you want a little more. Right, the further away you are from your wall, the more body weight is coming into that. So here. And then let's press into the left hand, come back to our table. And we'll thread the needle on the other side. So inhale, left arm lifts. Left arm threads behind the right, and now we're coming onto our left cheek. Good. And if you're on the wall now, you're leaning into the back of your left shoulder. adjusting the weight accordingly. Long breaths. And then press into your right hand, lift your head and shoulder. And again, we'll come back to a child's pose. At this point, you might want to wiggle your fingers, move your wrists a little bit. And we're going to do some hip rolls. So if you're down in table, we're going to try to do them from hands and knees. If you're standing, you can do it at your wall. Okay. So folks who are in table, let's come back up to hands and knees. And we're going to take the left knee just a little bit more towards center. So step your left knee in and lift your right knee up. Yes, the right knee is bent, foot is flexed. And let's start drawing a circle with the right knee. Okay, so we're moving right at the hip joint. And we're going slow enough that we can find our biggest circle. Roll is about 5. And then we'll switch. Let's bring the knee in, up and around for about 5. Big movement, and then the knee comes down. Okay, we'll switch to the other side. So now we're going to take the right knee a little more towards center. This just kind of tripods us so our balance is better. And we'll bend the left knee, lift the left knee up behind, open, around, and through. Good. You're at the wall, just switch hands. And rolling the hip joint about 5 times. And then we'll switch. Knee comes in, around, and through. One more. Good. And then we have our knees back on the floor, and we're going to bring the pelvis around. So we'll take the hands one step forward, drop the pelvis out to the side and back. Good. Just drawing a big circle. If you're standing, you could clean out the barrel here. It's the same thing. Heels at the hands in your low back. Soft knees, and we'll bring the pelvis around. And then we'll switch. The other way. And then we'll take a rest. So you can bring your sit bones back, child's pose. And if you're at the wall, you can just kind of lean into your wall a little bit. And table people, let's wiggle our fingers and start to move the wrists a little bit. So next we're gonna all be in down dog. So make sure you get the little bits of tension out of wrist joints. Might shake them a little bit. And then we're gonna get ready to come to downward facing dog. Okay, so everybody toes under, sit bones lift. And once you're up in down dog, you can pedal. So that might mean bending opposite knees. Stretch our feet by lifting our heels and lowering our heels. And dipping the hips from side to side, we call this wagging the tail. All right, a nice big stretch for the back body, and then we're going to take a rest. So knees down, belly down, chest down, and you can rest on your cheek. And as you're resting here, let's bend the knees and just windshield wiper the low legs. We're going to try something now where we move between downward facing dog and a high plank. Okay, so we never do the low plank where we're into our elbows and shoulder joints. We're going to have straight elbows, flat back. So when you're ready, come back to your forehead. Hands are alongside the rib cage. And we'll come up to our knees and back to down dog. And our goal is going to be to do about 3. In down dog, we're going to inhale, lift the sit bones. And then as you exhale, see if you can come to high plank and squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your belly. Exhale. Inhale into dog, soft lift. Exhale, come forward, high plank and squeeze. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, high plank, last one, squeeze, you got it, push the floor away, nice and strong. Knees down, ankles straight, come out to rest on your other cheek. So pick the other one this time. And again, bend at the knees and windshield wiper the low legs. Okay. Now let's move into a moving cobra. So this is good for upper back strength. Upper knee legs nice and straight on the floor. Hands are on either side of the rib cage. Forehead down. And now we're going to engage the low body. So we'll squeeze the glutes. We'll press the pubic bone down into the floor and then lift your rib cage and look right. And forehead down. Engage. Lift your rib cage. Look left. And down. Good. Inhale. Lift. Look right. Exhale and down. Inhale. Look left. Exhale and down. Good. So keep going. And as best you can, think about the rib cage lifting, and the fact that your head and neck are coming up too is just a benefit. The strength is coming from your upper back. Straining in the neck. Go to lift, engage, and press. And soften on your way down. One more time each direction. And rest on your forehead or your cheek, whatever is more comfortable. We'll bring the arms out long. And just let the arms rest alongside the body. And we're going to be doing moving locusts now. So in locust pose, we are attempting to lift our legs behind us. You can be on your cheek, you can be on your forehead, or if it's comfortable, you can be on your chin. So you see locust pose a lot where there is that stretch in the neck. Being on your chin, though, is painful. Choose the forehead or the cheek. And we're going to make fists with our hands and see if you can walk your fists under your hip joints. Okay, so you're going to be laying on top of your fists, and they're going to be right in that place where your thigh and pelvis meet. Let's bend the knees. And then as you exhale, press your pelvis down into your hands and lift your left knee as high as it goes. Knee is bent, foot is flexed, and lower. Exhale, press, lift your right knee. Inhale, lower. Good. Keep going. Exhale, press, lift your knee. Inhale, lower. Good. So it's almost like you're walking up on the ceiling. And we're realizing that it's pretty tricky to lift the thigh bone behind you. Okay? It doesn't have to be that high. We're just looking for that activation. One more time, each side. Legs rest, let your hands come out. And we'll bring the legs flat on the floor. Wiggle your fingers, move your wrists. Good. And now let's attempt a full locust pose. We're going to try to lift both legs together with the knees straight. So here we go. We're coming onto our chin, our forehead, or the cheek. Just walk underneath the hip joints. As you exhale now, press your pelvis down, point your toes, and just see if you can lift your legs up. So they might come up a half an inch, come up a foot, doesn't matter. We're reaching long through the toes and just see. And let's keep the upper body grounded. And then legs down, hands out. And we're gonna roll onto our backs. Finally, right? So come on over onto your back. And just make any little adjustments you need to be comfortable on your back. So that might mean working your shoulder blades together, shoulders down away from the ears. And we'll just let our arms rest alongside. And we'll start to fan the knees. Just gently tipping from side to side. And move into a nice twist. So the next time your knees drop right, let's keep them there. We'll pick up the head, turn and look left, and bring the head back down. And then if it feels okay, we can bring the left arm above the head to the floor. Just like we're looking at the inner left elbow. Gently settling your cheek a little bit towards your arm. You want even a little bit more rotation from this. You could pick up your right foot now and place it on the outside of your left knee. That tweaks your back at all, just keep your feet on the floor. And breathe your side body. Good. Bring the foot back to the floor if it's up. Arm back alongside. Lift your head, look at the ceiling, bring your head to neutral. And then a nice slow motion move will bring the knees through center and drop both knees to the left. Pick up your head, turn and look right. Bring your head down. And then if it works okay, the right arm is above you on the floor. Back of your hand is resting. And we're getting a little rotation in the neck as we kind of nestle our right cheek towards the mat, towards the arm. And again, if you want a little bit more, you can pick up your left foot and rest it on the right outer knee. Lengthening through the right side of the body, the rib cage, the waist. Two more deep breaths here. And then bring your left foot back to the floor if it's up. Arm back alongside if it's up. And lift your head, come back to neutral. So you're looking at the ceiling.
And nice and slow, let's bring the knees back to the ceiling. Let's just take a moment here. Your low back. And we're going to do 5 rounds of a Shvini Mudra, which is a squeeze and release of the glutes. So from here, take an inhale and relax. And then as you exhale, start to firm and squeeze the buttocks. 5 were tight. And then, nice long inhale, start to let go. And if you're interested in counting these breaths, you could. I suggested 5. You could do it a little longer, shorter, but you might think exhale, squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, release, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or soft. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So keep going. Counting or not counting. One more. Good. And then the next time you've inhaled completely, we're going to come up into a wind reliever. We're going to do it with the legs open. So let's take our hands onto our kneecaps and draw the knees in towards our hip bones. They're open. Again, you can wiggle your toes, move your ankles, rock your low back a little. And then from here, we're going to roll onto the left side. So let's come onto the left side body. And we're going to do a few more movements for shoulders.
So you're on your left side, your knees are bent, and we're going to take both arms straight out from the body.
Our palms are together. And we're going to start drawing a circle over the head. So just like you're drawing a half circle around your head. If the fingertips can touch the floor, great. Otherwise, they can hover. And we're tracing that circle around the head until we come to wide open.
Good. So if you want to see it for a minute, we're going to trace to wide open. There you go. And then you should be in the letter T when you hit the floor behind you. Yeah. So if anyone wants to see it before you do it, I'm tracing until I'm open. And then the arm will swing across the body to close. So draw a half circle above your head and swing to close. Good. So depending on mobility in your shoulder, the fingers might touch or they might hover the floor. The elbow might stay straight or it might need to be bent a little bit. That's all fine, right? We're expecting our movement here in the shoulders. And then you might see if your eyes can follow your hand. So could you roll your head so that it follows the movement of your hand? Maybe. Catch some of it. Keep moving along, and then the next time you're in the letter T, we're going to stay there. So as best you can, your knees are falling left and your arms are wide open. Straight across from fingertips, across the chest to the other fingertips. Soften your elbows. Okay. And then we'll swing closed. Okay, from here, we're going to think about a quad stretch. So if you can hold your right ankle or your right foot, we're going to do that now with the right hand. If that doesn't work so good, you can just bring your leg behind you without using the hand. Okay, so if you can hold your right ankle or your right foot, you're going to drop your thighs as close as they go. And then just bring the right thigh back. Okay, so the hand is just to support, it's not
pulling the leg back, the leg is coming back on its own. And ideally, we should feel this in the front of the thigh. If holding onto the foot isn't working so good, the big toe can just touch behind. Very similar thing, just no hand. And stay here for a few more breaths. And then if your hand is holding, release. And everybody, let's restack the knees. Okay, from here, we're going to roll across our backs and come to resting on the right hip. And again, the knees are bent and we're going to start drawing those half circles. So start with your hands, palms together, straight out from your body. And start to draw a circle around your head, opening all the way up. And then swing across and close. And if it works, your eyes can start to follow the movement of your hand. And take your time. This time when we come to our letter T with the arms wide open, we'll stay there. Up on the ceiling. And relax your shoulder joints, relax your elbows. And then bring your arm across your body, palms together. Okay, from here we're coming to our quad stretch. So take your left hand and just see if you can find your ankle or your foot. Drop your thighs as close together as they go. And then the left thigh moves back. Yeah, no effort much in your shoulder or hand. The feeling is just like the locust pose, right? It's the thigh trying to lift behind you or move behind you. And if the hand doesn't reach well or it's uncomfortable, causes shoulder strain, anything like that, just let your big toe tap behind you. And then we can release the legs, restack the knees. And again, we're going to roll onto our back. Good. So now have your block where you can reach it. And we'll do a few moving bridges. You're back on your back, your knees are bent. And for just a moment, let's pick up the pelvis and just roll the low back down so the low back connects. Okay, a few moving bridges. We're going to couple the breath with our movement. So as you exhale now, let's squeeze the belly in. Inhale, start to slowly lift the spine. Press your pelvis up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we're going to slowly place the spine back on the floor. As the pelvis touches, inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, relax. Okay. So try this on your own. And just trying to couple your movement right along with the breath. Keeps us from hurrying. So let's make sure that our chin is tucked a little bit so the back of the neck is long, and maybe walk a step closer to our seat if we can. Keep your legs nice and aligned, all right? So knees not falling in, falling out. And we're going to try to come up this time and hold. So exhale, squeeze in, roll up. And we might get a little bigger opening if we walk our shoulder blades towards one another. Good. So feel that your knees are looking at the ceiling, not bowing in or out. You're pushing into your feet. You're pressing up with your pelvis. Your neck is easy. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to hinge down. Hinge down means just drop your seat. Up your knees, draw your thighs into your belly. And we'll rock it out a little bit, rolling across the low back. Yeah, from here, let's move into a happy baby. So a happy baby means to hold your legs wherever it feels comfortable. It could be behind your knees, could be calves or ankles. Or if you have enough flexibility to do it, your hands can come up through center and hold the arches of your feet. So if that works, your hands are holding the inner arches of your feet. Otherwise, again, ankles, knees, wherever you reach. And then you can move however you want. Roll, we might kick, we might extend. Yeah, so it's doing whatever feels good. And our closing posture today is going to be a yin bridge. That's why we have the block there. Okay, so when you feel like you've worked it out, you can take your hands away, your feet back to the floor, and find that block. Pushing into the feet, we're going to lift the pelvis enough to scooch the block underneath the sacrum, right underneath the pelvis. So take a moment to adjust it, make sure it's not in your lower back. All right, your lower back is free. Still put your hand underneath your low back. Yeah, same thing, shoulder blades together as much as you can so the chest is open, chin tucked a little bit. Okay, so this is the basic variation. It's great. You can stay just like this. If you want a little more, there's always a little more. If you want a little more, you could try straightening your legs. Good. If your knees were straight and you're resting on your heels, you feel just a little bit more opening in the front body. And if you want even more, you could bring the arms overhead to the floor. Okay. And they could be straight or your elbows could be bent. Okay, chin down. Okay. So the arms are alongside, knees are bent, or the legs are straight, or the legs and arms are straight. And when you find what works for you, we're going to try to stay here about 3 minutes. And your only duty when you're doing a yin pose is to be aware of what you're feeling and to try to let go of tension. So having the feeling that the pelvis is grounded on the block, sinking into the block a little bit. Okay. Joints in your arms soften and relax. Let your legs be heavy. And then feel your whole body from your fingertips to your crown to your toes. Feel all the places where you touch the floor. Feel the place where you touch your block. And just breathe. Now your arms are overhead. Gently bring them back alongside. If your legs are straight, let's come back to the soles of our feet. And when we remove that block, we're going to lower the body in slow motion. So push into your feet a little bit so that you can take the block out. And slow, slow, slow. Bring your pelvis back to the floor. And then you can gently rock the knees again, start small. And then ask your body, if I did one more thing to close my practice, what would it be? And so everybody now pick one last thing that you would like to do. It could be a full body stretch. It could be a wind reliever. It could be bringing your legs up in the air. 15 jumping jacks. So what is going to close your awakening prana practice for 2024? And just take 2 or 3 minutes to do that now. And when you feel happy, we're going to get ready for relaxation. So whatever last stretch or movement your body is asking you for, and then get ready for Shavasana. And just setting up your posture, shoulders down away from the ears. So there was a practice where we never actually stood up, but we still worked pretty hard, right? There's a lot of strength, especially in the back. So feel how luxurious it is to lay down. And when I say let the floor hold you, it's probably pretty easy to do, right? So let your whole body be heavy. Draw your awareness up into the crown of your head and feel a pool of warm energy at your crown. And this pool of warm energy starts to spread down into your forehead. So your forehead relax. The eyebrows move apart and soften around your eyes, behind your eyes. Relax your cheeks and your jaw. Relax your tongue and the insides of your cheeks. Move across the back of your head. And feel the place where your head is supported. And feel that your head is heavy. Relax your neck.
and your throat. Move your awareness across your chest, into your shoulder joints and upper back. Feel this warm energy travel between your shoulder blades. And deeply soften the space between your shoulder blades. That warm energy starts to move down your arms, softening your upper arms and elbows, your lower arms and wrists. Relax your hands and feel that warm energy pool in the palms of your hands. Feeling that warmth now trickle into your fingers, out to your fingertips. Let your arms be heavy and held by the floor. Relax your wrists and elbows and shoulders. Relax the sides of your rib cage and just feel the weight of your rib cage. Into the sides of your waist, your mid back, your lower back. And as you relax your lower back, think that you could drop your lower back just a little bit more towards the floor. Soften all the muscles in the abdomen and sides of your waist. And for a few breaths, just observe the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. Inhaling and filling, exhaling and emptying. And then notice if you have the ability to relax your belly even more. You let go 1 degree deeper. And just notice that if you can do that, if you can let go just a little bit more, the breath will deepen all on its own. Soften your glutes, hip joints, travel down into the muscles in the thighs, around your knee joints, lower legs and ankle joints, and soften your feet. Feel that warm energy resting in the arches of your feet. And that warm energy moves out into all the little joints in your toes, out into the tips of your toes. And we're going to breathe a triangle. So the next time you inhale, draw your inhalation up through the arches of your feet, up the legs, up the center line of the body to the crown of the head. And then exhale from the crown of the head, down the body, down the legs, and out through your feet. Okay. So inhalation originates in the arches. The exhalation originates right at the crown of your head. And just feel that you're moving this wave of energy up and down your body. And this wave of breath, this wave of energy gets into every cell in your body. So this wave of energy is strong, smooth, and completely unobstructed as it flows up and down. I'm going to try a practice called the Om Kriya. So in the Om Kriya, you keep breathing just as you are, but you're going to have the mantra Om move with the breath. So the feeling is as you inhale up the body, that sound is beginning somewhere below your feet, and you inhale Om. And there's a moment of silence up above your crown. And you exhale down. Om. Up to the feet, and there's a moment of silence. And you inhale up. Om. Good. So just continue hearing, feeling the mantra Om travel the body. No worries that it doesn't sound right. However, it sounds in your head is perfect. And just see if the mantra and the breath can couple and move together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. And now allow the sound of the mantra to go and return to your normal breath. A couple deep breaths. And start to bring a little movement into your fingers and toes. Gently moving your head. And now feel your awareness start to move back out into the room that you're in. And when you feel ready, you can roll to your side. And we'll come up to seated for just a few moments. And just letting your hands sit in your lap or on your knees. And giving yourself just a few breaths in silence. Hands together, warming your hands. And then cupping the hands over your eyes. And the eyes slowly open to the darkness of your hands. And come away when you're ready. Thank you all so much. Namaste, namaste, thank you. Having a beautiful holiday, beautiful new year, and we'll be back. And thank you all so much.
I'm gonna miss you the next 2 weeks.
Pardon?
I said I'm gonna miss you the next 2 weeks.
I know, I know.
Have a great holiday.
Yeah, I will. I got both of my kids home, so I have one that's always home. Then the two other ones, one's back from Pennsylvania, one will be back from Florida. So I'll have a very loud and active house.
Sounds
It
lovely.
sounds fun.
Yep, sounds
Yeah.
lovely.
It will be. It'll be
I have
great. I'll be ready to pack them off. Happy New Year. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. I
Bye,
have
take
my
care,
first
everybody.
Christmas without my daughter this year. So
Oh.
that's, I have the opposite. She's in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, so that'll be very strange. Very strange. First time.
You do phone call or Zoom or anything?
Oh yeah, she's going to Colorado. She's got a new boyfriend and she's going to meet his parents in Colorado. So
Oh boy.
yeah, I know. Nerve-wracking. But
I
anyway.
know.
Well, you have a wonderful time, Tracy. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
You all too.
Bye. Happy holidays, Tracy. Happy
Bye.
holidays. Take care.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
good. I hope so. Yes. I know. Love my in-person people.